Welcome to Inside JCCC. My name is Joe Sopcich and I'm the president here of Johnson County Community College. Inside JCCC provides you with a behind-the-scenes look into what goes on in one of our over 20 buildings that we have on 234 acres here on our campus. But what's really important is what goes on behind those walls. Our faculty and staff put on the best programs possible that will ensure success for our students and help them in the classroom and beyond. So sit back and enjoy, and welcome to Inside JCCC.
Welcome to Johnson County Community College. This time we'll take a tour of the Billington Library at the heart of JCCC. The Billington Library is one of the original buildings on the JCCC campus, dating from when the college first opened its doors on this site in 1972. Originally called the Educational Media Center, it was renamed the Billington Library in 2000 in recognition of one of the college's founders, Dr. Will Billington, the chairman of the college's first board of trustees. Through the Billington Library, patrons have access to thousands of books, journalism, videos, music recordings, and art and architecture images. In addition to the college archives, the library has computer workstations and wireless access, as well as the space for students to study alone or in groups.
Hello, my name is Mark Dagener. I'm Director of Library Services at Billington Library. Dr. Will Billington worked for the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City for 35 years, retiring as Executive Vice President. In the 1960s, Dr. Billington was asked by the county commissioners to chair a committee that would study the feasibility of creating a community college in Johnson County. The group published a written report unanimously recommending the creation of such a college here. Dr. Billington was elected to the college's first board of trustees in 1967, receiving the largest plurality of votes among more than 30 candidates, serving from 1967 until 1975. As chairman of the board, Dr. Billington and his fellow trustees produced the college's Blue Book, a working philosophy that helped guide the selection of administrators and the development of the college's curriculum for the following decades. In January 2000, the JCCC Library was named for Dr. Billington in recognition of his years of support of the college. Through the library's OneSearch discovery of online, digital, and print resources, patrons have access to more than 130,000 books and as many electronic books, 50,000 journals, 15,000 videos, 45,000 music recordings, and over 1.5 million art and architecture images. During the regular semester, the library's hours are 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 5 p.m. on Friday, Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday noon to 6 p.m.
My name is Jessica Tipton, and I'm an associate professor and reference librarian at Johnson County Community College. The library provides a wealth of resources to support students, faculty, staff, and the community at large. We have everything from books to DVDs to computers to study rooms. We really try to have something for everyone. The first floor of the library is our active floor. It's where students come to get help with their research projects from librarians. We have our circulation desk on the first floor, and that's where students can check out materials such as books, DVDs. They can check out a laptop to use throughout the building as well. Students can also get their student IDs made, and all of our materials that might be on reserve for a class will be at that desk as well. One thing I always make sure to tell people is that you don't have to be in the library to use the library. Many of our resources are available online 24/7, anywhere with an internet connection. We actually have more online resources than print and physical resources at this point in the library. That's the way research is going. If someone's looking for a book, we actually have more e-books than physical books at this point. So usually we just send them to Summon, which is our search box on the main screen of the library. We kind of call it Google for the library because it searches through almost everything we own from one search box. One other service that people may not know about is that we have something called interlibrary loan. So if there's something that you want that we don't have, we can find a way to get it for you. We borrow books, DVDs, articles from journals from all across the United States and Canada. We just fill out a request form on our website and our staff will be able to get it for you. The library has some things that people may not know about. One example is, one of my jobs is that I'm in charge of the McNaughton collections at the library. These are our New York Times bestsellers, our DVDs, and our audiobooks. So some of the things that you would find at a public library, you can actually get here as well. Something else people might not know about the library is that we're open to the public. Community users can come in. If you're a resident of Johnson County, you can actually get a card at our library and check out materials. And we do get quite a few people coming here evenings and weekends from the community, both people just wanting to have access to an academic library as well as high school students. The library provides many services to faculty. We buy materials to support faculty's courses that they're teaching. We teach library instruction sessions, and that helps students get started with their library research for specific papers and projects that they have in their courses. We also provide copyright services for faculty. So if faculty have any questions about copyright and fair use, we're happy to help them with that. The second floor of the library is where most of our collection is. The second floor has thousands of books that students can use. It's also our quiet floor. So if someone needs to get away from it all and really have a quiet place to study, the second floor is the place to go. The library offers many resources for students. Students can access help from librarians both in person and online. They don't have to be in the library to use the library. Some other services that we have for students in the library is access to technology. So we have Wi-Fi throughout the building, of course, and we have almost 100 computers that students can use throughout the building, access to printers, copiers. It's really a one-stop shop to do your project from start to finish.
My name is Molly Kahn. I'm the college archivist at Johnson County Community College. The purpose of the Johnson County Community College Archives is to preserve records of enduring value. So we have anything ranging from Board of Trustees meeting minutes to campus photographs taken since the beginning of campus to items relating to campus activities and posters and different departmental records, as well as records of people who have contributed to the history of the campus throughout the years. We preserve the records for enduring value as well as access for when people want to conduct research or find out the history of their department or other buildings around campus and programs that we have here. Some of the more interesting items we have here are original ink drawings from the early graphics department with advertising and covers of class schedules and other publications throughout campus, as well as an original land grant. Some of the future plans for the archives are to digitize more of the collections and make them public, as well as expand the collections we do have and reach out to other departments around campus. At the archives, we have both original physical items as well as digital records that are created currently on campus and digitized items. So we have digital copies of photographs and other heavily used items, as well as the original format that it was created in. We have records here ranging from the creation of the college in 1969. The original campus was in Merriam, Kansas at an elementary school, and then the current campus was built here and opened in 1971 and 1972. So we have records from both the original campus as well as the current location.
My name is Ed Levitt. I'm the Director for Distance Learning here at Johnson County Community College. There's a couple of different ways that students can find out what courses we offer online. One is to go to the main Johnson County webpage and look for the course offerings and the course schedule, and they can actually do a filter looking for different delivery options. One of them is online or hybrid. Another way is for them to go to our distance learning page, and we try to put each semester's online courses available so they can see what's out there for them. The online courses here at Johnson County, the majority of them will use our learning management system, which is Desire to Learn, or D2L. And what a student will do is log in, and they'll typically check to see what assignments might be due for that week. That could be something as simple as reading a chapter in a book, and maybe responding on a discussion thread. It could also maybe include writing a paper and uploading it into our Dropbox tool. And other classes may also include quizzes that can be taken at any time during the class. You can also put in there grades, so the student might be trying to keep track of how they're doing in the class. We actually encourage all of our faculty to keep their grades in D2L so that students are always knowing how they're performing and how they're doing in their coursework. So there's a variety of tools that instructors have at their disposal to use, but a lot of times we feel online courses are just as engaging as what you'd find in a face-to-face class. You know, the question about do I have the ability to talk to other students in my course? There's always the opportunity to reach out to other students and to either send them an email, or many times in courses there might be a discussion thread that might, you know, ask your opinion on something. And it's the opportunity, actually a better opportunity than a face-to-face, because you can take your time and compose your messages. I always tell students, everyone's in the front row in an online course. Because we all have equal time to, you know, contribute to the course conversations that are going on. You know, the question about do I have to come on campus to complete exams or quizzes, it really depends upon the course. Some courses that we have require a proctored final, and we do have a testing center here at Johnson County Community College that you can make arrangements to come on and take those quizzes. If you're out of state, our instructors can work with you to find a proctored environment, but not all courses require that. Many of them may basically give you deadlines and due dates, and all the quizzes can be completed online. As an online course, right, for me, it's different for each individual. What I can tell you is that in most cases it does take more time, and it also is going to take a lot of skills and time management. You're not going to have a specific course to go to a specific time. You're going to have to carve time out of your day, out of your week, and figure out, you know, if you can make that commitment. You're also going to need to be self-motivated. You're also going to need to make sure that you can get things done, you know, and not have to have somebody in front of you all the time. So it is a good way to, you know, have a job, have a family, and continue your education. You know, I've worked here for 27 years, and I still just enjoy coming to work every day. I think it's working with students. That's one of the most pleasing things to my job. You know, I've taught classes here, but, you know, helping students, whether it's in the hallways to get to, you know, where they may need to be, or a conversation I may have with them on the phone, you know, to find out whether, you know, Johnson County has a class or something available for them. I think working with students is one of the greatest things that keeps me coming back every day.
Hi, I'm Vincent Miller. I'm the Director of the Educational Technology Center and Video Services at Johnson County Community College. Our faculty are very innovative, and they come to the Ed Tech Center for assistance with a lot of different technology projects. Some of those include the learning management system that we use on campus. We use that for online instruction, and we also use that for a lot of our face-to-face classes. Our faculty like to put their syllabi out there. They like to use it for uploading handouts and for putting grades in the online learning management system. That's really nice for the students, because the students can then go out and if they need to get a copy of what was done in class, they can go out and get that from the learning management system, or they can look at their grades. Our faculty also are doing a lot of really interesting things in areas like video. A lot of them are recording their classes or their lectures, and so they do that, and then they put that recording out in our system so that the students can go out later and look at that recording, and that's really nice for the students to be able to go back and review that material. The great thing about working at JCCC is that our faculty are working with a lot of really interesting technologies, and our students certainly benefit from that. One example is that we are working right now with some faculty on what are called MOOCs. MOOCs are massive open online courses, and that is a new way of teaching a course that where you put a course online and it's open to anybody in the world, but our hope is that people in Johnson County will be able to benefit from that. So working with MOOCs is something that a prospective student could go out and see the kind of teaching that we do here at Johnson County Community College, even before they decide to come to the college.
Students also come to the Billington Library to study language.
My name is Christina Wolf. I'm the Language Resource Center Supervisor here at Johnson County Community College. I'm also the Healthcare Interpreting and Legal Interpreting Supervisor as well. We have a lot of classes that are offered here at the college. We have classes in Arabic, Hebrew, French, Spanish, German, a lot of credit hours offered, and as well on the continuing education side. The classes are offered in the morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on which language you want to study. So if it's a well-taught language, meaning French, Spanish, German, there's a lot of sections offered. But if it's a lesser taught language like Arabic, Hebrew, there are fewer offerings for those courses. We have a variety of people that teach here in our department. We have people who are native speakers, we have non-native speakers, we have heritage speakers, we have people of all walks of life. So we're really fortunate to have people that have different levels of specialization in each of the languages that we teach here. I think the approach in our department is that we have the communicative approach. We want to have the students learn the grammar, have a good time, but also learn to speak the language. Now, many people can learn to read and write a language on their own, but it takes the face-to-face class that really helps you to practice the language and learn to speak it well. Those students that meet in the face-to-face classes, for example, let's say it's a 5-day-a-week class or a 3-day-a-week class, go to class, and often the teachers have paired activities that take place, conversational activities. So there's a lot of group work, pairing work that takes place to help students ask each other questions in the target language and the language they're studying, and then they just try to maintain the level of fluency that they can have at whatever level they're at. But the goal is to get the students to keep speaking in the language that they're learning as much as possible in the classroom. Our classes, fortunately, are very small. We don't have any classes that are over 25. We're very fortunate to have that possibility of having small classes. Some classes can be as small as 10 to 12 students, and that really allows our students to learn well. That gives them more time for practice, more time for speaking, and as you know, fewer numbers means more conversation taking place in our language classes. Our foreign language students, once they finish a course, for example, in an elementary class, we hope that they're able to have some survival skills. That means they can have a basic conversation with someone. So we're hoping that maybe they can tell someone that they want to order something in a restaurant, talk about the weather, talk about themselves, talk about their family. Their skills progress as they keep taking more and more levels in a foreign language. But that's, for example, what an elementary Spanish 1 or elementary French 1 student might be able to do at the end of a semester. In addition to being the Language Resource Center supervisor, I run 2 interpreting programs, and they're Spanish and English programs. We have a healthcare interpreting program that started several years ago, and our students learn to hopefully become qualified interpreters to work in the medical field. So they could work in a clinic or a hospital setting. They could also just completely change their career and work as an interpreter in another field. Our legal interpreting program started recently, and those students hope to work in the legal setting, such as a courtroom, or in a law office. The difference with the 2 programs is that the legal interpreting students could sit for the Missouri State exam and then become a qualified court interpreter after more training. What our programs do is help facilitate their learning and make them better than if they were to take their 2 language skills in Spanish and English and apply to be an interpreter. We teach them to be an interpreter, to understand the code of ethics and a variety of other things such as culture. And that really helps them when they go out in the job market because they, I think, are better prepared than someone who knows both languages and goes for a job interview. The demand for healthcare and legal interpreting jobs is growing. We have almost all of our students that graduate with the healthcare interpreting program find jobs right away. We have employers that contact our healthcare interpreting instructor asking her to send students on for interviews. Foreign language students come to the Language Resource Center, and when I say foreign language, I need to also include the American Sign Language program and the AEIP. Those students primarily use this lab to do a lot of practice work, to observe videos. We have rooms that are curtained off, that can be curtained off, so students can use the areas for either a private classroom setting or to videotape themselves for classes. They come here to do group work. And then foreign language students, the traditional, what we think of foreign language students, come here and use video programs as well as software that's installed on our computers. So there's a variety of things that students can do when they come to the Language Resource Center. So the students go to a separate area. It's different from the Language Resource Center. In order to get tutoring done, they go upstairs to GEB 316, and that's where all our language tutors are housed except for the American Sign Language tutor. She works here. But the other languages, French, Spanish, Russian, Hebrew, German, Japanese, and Chinese, work upstairs. And the students just come when the tutors are working. There's a drop-in service, and our hours are listed on our MAID website, and students just show up when the tutors are working for help. And then they tell the tutor what they need help with, whether it be conversation, grammar, or homework.
Another resource available to students is the Writing Center.
My name is Catherine Byrne, and I'm an associate professor here in the English department, and I'm director of the Writing Center. The Writing Center is a service that the college provides to students, the general public, anybody who actually wants to come in and get some help on their writing. We will help them at any stage of the writing process, from development all the way to the end of their paper when it needs to be edited. We'll show them how to edit their papers and what to do. We have multiple ways that they can do that. They can sit down with a tutor. They can access the grammar software. We have editing software for people who just want to run their papers through and get a diagnostic. The Writing Center has 96 handouts that cover a variety of writing concerns. Those are all free to anybody who wants to come and pick one up in the Writing Center, or you can access those also by our website. We have a grammar hotline where you can call us and ask a quick question. We have an OWL where students are allowed to submit their papers to us electronically. It takes about 48 hours turnaround time. We also have some binders in the back room that span the disciplines the college offers, and it holds a syllabus, a writing prompt, and what that teacher thinks is an A paper, so students can see what the workload in that class may be. The Writing Center offers several different classes. They start out at parts of speech. They work over to the sentence level, and then they work over into paragraphs, and then eventually a student who wants to learn how to write in the genre other than MLA can come in and learn how to do that. The Writing Center is staffed by teachers and students. Students have to have taken Comp 1 class and gotten a B or better in their class, and then they go through extensive training through me. The Writing Center is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., from Fridays on 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays we're open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sundays we're open from noon until 4 p.m. In the summer we're only open on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Students who come to our center should just walk in and say hi to the desk person. The desk person will ask them to scan in. We'll ask you if you've been here this semester already. If you have not, we'll build a folder for you, and if you have, we'll get your folder and hand it to you, and you can proceed into the center to do whatever it is that you came for. It's a drop-in service only, so you don't need to make an appointment. Just show up and tell us what you want to do, and we'll be happy to help you. A writer who comes to see us is welcome to stay as long as they'd like to stay. A tutoring session only lasts an hour, but if they go and revise their paper and they want to sit with a tutor again, they're more than welcome to do that. Quick questions, they can ask as many as they want throughout the day. A lot of our students and writers will come in here and they will sit for 4 or 5 hours and draft a paper.
So here you're talking about English, right?
The library also houses the college's graphic design department and the journalism and media communications department.
My name is Jim Lane. I am the Dean of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences and interim chair for the graphic design program. The Johnson County Community College graphic design program is a 2-year career program designed to give you an Associate of Applied Sciences in Graphic Design. We offer classes Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. This is an interesting one. The classes are 6-hour long, 1-day-a-week classes. They are studio classes like you would have in an art school, where a professor would sit down with the class at the beginning and lecture. Then the students would go out in the studios and work on their work, and then maybe during the last hour, hour and a half of the class, there'll be critique sessions also. So it's a long haul. The classes go from 8 to 1:30, 1:30 to 7, 7 to 10. The faculty in the graphic design program are made up of 5 full-time faculty and 9 adjunct faculty. They're right from the industry. They're all very good. They have very high standards so that we can challenge our students to be the best they can be and crank out the best students for the industry possible. The classes are taught studio style in one of our 3 labs where we have a computer portion of the lab. We have a cut and paste or drawing portion of the lab, and we have a critique room for each one. The students will come in and have an hour, hour and a half of lecture. They'll have 3 to 4 hours of work in studio. They can work on their projects, and then there might be another lecture portion at the end. The class size is maxed at 18. We have 18 computers, 18 drafting tables, and 18 critique chairs in each one of the labs. And so at any one portion, any one class, the max you're ever going to have is 18. We find that that's the best in a studio-based environment, to not to have too many, and it provides optimal one-on-one situations with the instructors. We're very fortunate that we have great resources. We have 3 labs that are working morning, noon, and night. They are fully equipped with Macintosh computers, the latest Adobe software, and all the graphic design software that we need. And the facilities are adequate enough to handle the crush of students that we have every semester. There's about 50% of the students that get out of high school and think that graphic design is the area they want to go into. And so between 18 and 22, 23 years old, there are probably about 60 to 75 students. There's another 75 students that come here that already have a college degree and are looking to retool their portfolio, their resumes, to get a job in something else. And what's interesting then is that means in any class of 18, you might have an 18-year-old up through a 45, 50-year-old, and it adds a lot of diversity to the class and a lot of varied experiences in life, which is good for all of them.
And you probably did that because the characters are bigger?
Our goal for them is to walk out of here with a knockout portfolio. It is for them to leave here with the communication and collaboration skills they would need to go out immediately, feel comfortable interviewing for a job, and getting that job. There are dozens of jobs that each year that become available, and the turnover rate is kind of high as people move in different branches of it, and there's always job openings. And so we keep it up to date through the adjuncts that teach in the program who are also working in the field. We keep it up to date through the internships that we cultivate through the professional organizations around town. We have service learning opportunities where students will perform nonprofit or student classroom projects for groups around the city, and it just helps add to their portfolio when they walk away. The program connects through the industry through its alumni, and we have students, former students and alumni that are all over the city working, and they are continuing to be advocates for us. It works through the internships, professional internships that the students have as they graduate and move out of here, and a lot of times they'll get jobs from those internships, and it benefits from the service learning opportunities that our students, as part of our classroom project, will fulfill to help out nonprofit organizations or student organizations right here on campus.
That's cool.
I'm Mark Radaziner. I'm a professor and the chair of the Journalism and Media Communications Department here on campus. We offer a wide range of courses, about 20 different courses, from print journalism to broadcasting, strategic communication courses, public relations, advertising. We have photojournalism, and we also offer internships to our students as well. Our broadcasting courses are really great. We offer an introductory course for students just interested in learning about the history and development of the broadcasting industry. We also have courses in video production and broadcast performance, and those classes are offered at the same time, and those students work collaboratively. The most important aspect of our program is we give students the hands-on training they need to get that experiential learning. So students in our news reporting classes, they can write articles for our student newspaper. The students in radio production can produce content for our campus radio station. And the students in broadcast performance and video production actually create news, feature, sports programming for JCAV TV productions. All of them student-run operations on campus.
Thanks you guys for tuning in, as always.
JCAV is our student video programming and television arm of student media, and the students produce newscasts and feature programming, sports programming and talk shows using the experience that they've learned in their news reporting and broadcasting classes. And ECAV Radio is our student radio station, and so those are the call letters for the television and the radio station.
Yeah, make it sound.
We have incredible resources for students to get involved in the journalism and mass communication field. We offer students internships, and after a student completes 3 credit hours, just one class in our department, they're eligible to intern in the promotions department of any number of radio stations here in the Kansas City area.
A little bit more prepared. I got to learn
It gets a foot in the door and just really gives them that opportunity of working with a professional mentor on site. We also have 3 student media on campus, so students can get involved in the campus radio station, the campus TV station, or the student newspaper. And all of those student media activities really are sort of jumping off points from the classes that students can take here on campus, and they can gain more of that experiential learning by being involved in student media. Aside from just learning in the classroom, they also get to go out into the world of our campus and cover stories and produce content. The idea of the journalism program too, and of journalism as a field, is that we are storytellers, and that's what we really teach our students, is how they become storytellers, both visually through video work that they do, photography work that they do, and also through writing about news and information happening right here on our campus. Our program has a strong relationship, particularly with area Kansas City media, and students have the opportunity to have internships at radio stations or television stations, video production firms, newspapers, magazines, exposure really all around Kansas City, which helps the students gain that experiential learning, but also gets them to start networking with professionals in the field. And that's really very exciting for us as faculty in the department, and it's really exciting for the students as well. My favorite part about teaching at Johnson County and working in the journalism department is that no one day is the same. I think a lot of people probably feel that way who teach here. The journalism and mass communication industry is really changing, and it's changed certainly over the 30 years I've worked at the college. So that keeps me on my toes and keeps me very excited about what the future possibilities are for classes that we can offer and opportunities that we can offer our students.
And finally, the college's first learning studio is in the library. The Learning Studio is a new classroom concept that makes it easy for students to interact with their teachers and with each other.
I'm Lynn Knudsen, Dean of the Academic Support Division here at Johnson County Community College. I'd like to talk about an academic initiative that we've undertaken here at the college called the Learning Studio, or Active Learning Spaces. The Learning Studio and the Active Learning Spaces is a new classroom concept to facilitate student learning and actually the instructors' facilitation of their learning. The Learning Studio is a different concept than we've had here at the college in the past, and there's really 3 major differences. One is the use of color in the room. The second is the furniture that we use in the room. And the third difference is the technology that we use in the room. There have been many studies on the effect of color on learning among students, and they have found that color actually enhances the learning process. It stimulates the students' enthusiasm and engagement in the classroom. So these learning studios that you'll see have a different color palette than any of our other classrooms on campus. They're much brighter. We use several different colors in the room. The furniture is a lot brighter. The carpeting is a different color than our normal classrooms. And so we've implemented this to test that theory in our own classrooms about how color actually impacts student learning. One of our goals with the use of technology in these spaces is to try to untether the faculty member from the technology, because part of the design of this room is to get the instructor out among the students and not standing up at the front of the room behind a podium. We're trying to actually get away from the whole idea that there is a front of the room. So the room is designed in modules of 4 seats, and the faculty member then is free to actually wander out around the students and be closer engaged with them rather than standing at the front of the room. In research parlance, that's called the sage on the stage versus the guide on the side. So what we're trying to do here with these active learning spaces is to implement more of the guide on the side philosophy with our faculty. Each room is also equipped with a laptop cart, so every student in the class has access to a Chromebook, which then in turn they can look up things on the internet, they can access Google Docs, they can do creative writing while they're in the classroom. The standard setup for technology in the Learning Studio always includes a smart board. Some of them have 2 smart boards. They always have a document camera, an instructor's computer, and they always will have the laptops for the students. Close to the end of every semester, I conduct a focus group of the students in each class scheduled in the Learning Studio. And so I'll go in and I'll ask them what do they like about the experience, what did they not like about the experience, and we use that feedback very seriously as a way to continue to fine-tune how these rooms are put together, and if we need to change anything, add anything, take anything away. The students are very upfront about what they like, and they always mention color. They love the extra color in the room, and they particularly enjoy getting to know their fellow students better. They always mention that they get to know people better because they're sitting in a group with people, they see their faces, they learn their names faster, and that engagement, student-to-student engagement, and student-to-faculty engagement is one of the things that is the best in these spaces, and it really does facilitate learning.
Libraries are at the heart of any educational institution. And as you've seen, the Billington Library is at the heart of JCCC.